Once your design has been signed off by Mrs. Miller, you are ready to start the tracing process. And once you have also done a little bit of practice carving. So, to transfer your design from your sketchbook to your block, the first thing you want to do when you get your block is actually write your name on the edge here. So, I'm going to go ahead and write Mrs. Miller with a ballpoint pen. Then I'm going to actually take my sketchbook page and turn it over on the back. So just turn your page in your sketchbook. You should kind of be able to see where you've drawn it through, at least generally. And then you will need a big old pencil from our blending boxes from last year. You will need one of these big, beefy pencils, and not pressing hard, but do getting full coverage. You're going to kind of use an angle to cover your design area. And you're going to do this kind of multiple directions. So here's one way. And you'll turn your tool and you'll go kind of cross direction. What you're doing is you're spreading the graphite. And just making sure you've got good full coverage. Okay? So when that's done, now you're going to take your block, you're going to turn your paper over back to the right side. You're going to take your block and put it underneath. You can kind of feel at the edge of your paper where that block is sitting. You want to make sure that you're in kind of just the right space so you're going to get all of your picture without losing anything. Okay, so remember that your shape is going to be slightly larger than the block itself. So find the edge and get that sorted. Then, with that ballpoint pen, you're going to go on top of all of your pencil line drawings. And it doesn't really matter if you have ink that comes out of the pen or not, because it's just the pressure and that little line that's going to make the transfer. You want to make sure you transfer everything before you let your paper or the block move. All right. Now, before you just yank this away and lose everything, I would put your hand on the block and on part of it and just lift a corner just to check and make sure. But that looks pretty good. So I'm going to just double check the rest of it. Yep. So I'll peel this away now. And this, you can see, has the information with pencil on here, but these lines are pretty fragile. The likelihood of this getting rubbed off or brushed off is pretty good. So looking back at my original, I might spend a little time here actually going back on top again with the ballpoint pen. Now, if you are someone who doesn't have a super complicated design, if you are wanting to like freehand this, you certainly could try that. Um, Actually, it should be this one. Shoot, I made up the wrong one here. Whoops. So, if you do something like that where you accidentally draw or trace the wrong things, you can erase the pen, even though it's pen, which is kind of cool. Um, you can erase that. Just ballpoint pen it down. In fact, I'm going to make that strawberry a little smaller so it fits on the block a little bit better, because otherwise it's hard to tell what that is. So there we go. There's my Celtic inspired cat with a strawberry. It's now transferred and it's ready for me to decide if I'm doing positive or negative carving.